It's alive. So, what you been up to today so far? It's 11 p.m. I haven't even showered yet.
It's actually 11 a.m.
11 a.m. God, yeah. See, this is how my day's going.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I just woke up and I ate some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and here I am.
Fuck yeah, dude. That sounds like an amazing morning. I've been editing all morning, and halfway through editing my other podcast, it crashed and I lost everything.
Oh,
Dude,
yes, dude.
yep. But welcome back to the Thought Void podcast. We have risen from the ashes.
We have been resurrected.
I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably a curse for you guys, but anyway, you're going to listen to us. And I'm Vance Miller, and
Oh, I'm Eston. Eston
real nice.
Shango.
This is a great way to start everything off. Um,
I was
but
focusing on my coffee. I'm sorry.
so today we're talking AI, all this
Yes.
scary shit, Neuralink, everything dystopian. And if you want to kick it off, Eston,
Like like he said, we're gonna be talking about Neuralink, the chip that's gonna control our brains. What are your first thoughts on it? Like just like if you could summarize your thoughts on it right now, what do you think?
optimistic,
Hmm.
also scared.
Hmm.
Because this is how a lot of like dystopian movies and stories start. I don't know, man. I'm kind of here and there about it. I'm on both sides, I think. I can't really make a clear decision on whether I completely love it or completely hate it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I'm kind of in like the same boat a little bit. Like I think after doing some research, it's incredible. Like it's an amazing thing that's happening, but I also am so afraid of what it could be, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. Like it can definitely help a lot. This will help people with disabilities be able to live their normal lives how they want to live.
Yeah.
But also, is Elon going to become Jesus and take over the earth?
Yeah, he's the second coming of the
He's the
of Jesus
Antichrist.
Christ. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, like after doing some research and watching some interviews and stuff, like it's incredible. Like it's actually the work of science fiction. It is such an amazing piece of technology. Like if you look at it from purely like a medical standpoint, it is such a like mind-blowing thing.
It's a huge, huge step in the medical field for sure. I feel like this is something you have to educate yourself on so you don't get freaked out by it. And the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, that I feel the exact same way. I feel like a topic that we can't not talk about when it comes to Neuralink is transhumanism. Do you know what that means?
No, I don't.
So basically, I'm not going to give like the textbook definition, but from my understanding, it's basically when humans and technology start to merge into one thing, for lack of better words. I know it's not like exactly that, but it's close enough.
So like a sentient robot would be a transhuman.
So like a cyborg.
Okay, so my boy Arnold.
See, the Oxford Dictionary says the belief or the theory that the human race can evolve beyond its current physical and mental limitations, especially by the means of science and technology. And I think we're seeing the very beginning of advanced transhumanism with Neuralink, like the first steps into something greater than just prosthetic limbs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is exactly that. This is exactly what that is because it's literally just an information bank and a supercomputer in your head.
Pretty much, pretty much. And once we get going into like the more specific stuff, we can see how crazy that can really get. And then the main goal here of Neuralink, and this is a quote from Elon Musk, is to solve brain and spine problems with a seamless implant device. And the reason he makes it such a specific claim is because there have already been like brain implants that help with certain disabilities and like computer interfaces, but they're
Right.
like really bulky and they have to like stab through your skull with like these spikes and these cubes and
You
stuff.
just got like fucking wires and tubes coming out of your fucking brain.
Yeah, it's very matrixy. You're just sitting there like giant computers just sticking out of your head. Which if that's your aesthetic, then like go for it, you know.
You're just walking around, your head's like fucking 50 pounds, just like running into shit, clunking around.
Could you imagine like you could knock a head on one of like a door frame and it just rips this computer out of your
Ah,
head?
fuck. I feel like it's like a pick line. Do you know what a pick line is?
No.
They go in your arm and like up into your heart. And my
Whoa.
sister had one when she was really sick, and the cat pulled on it, and she said she almost threw
Oh,
up. And I could just imagine if that was connected into your brain
brain.
tissue and it got tugged on or ripped off, no bueno.
Dog. Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. We're gonna
Hurts.
derail for like 2 seconds, bro. This pick line would like looking at it makes me want to throw up.
Oh yeah, did you look it up? It's pretty
Oh my
bad.
God,
It's
dude.
pretty
What
bad.
the heck is that? So I have like a horrible, like I hate heartbeats. I don't like thinking about my heart. It gives me so much anxiety. So having something come out of it and then just be like, oh, I'm gonna rip it out. Whoa.
Oh,
I think I would rather just die.
me too. Yeah, I would honestly just be like, you know what? Whatever's wrong with me, let it
Let
take me to heaven.
This is what
Don't
God planned, you know. This is
God's plan.
yeah, this is God's plan. Like who am I to judge, you know?
Pull the plug, damn it.
It's like, yeah, just like literally pull the plug. I don't want it in me anymore.
So when it goes to the first human test, our boy
Yes.
Noland Arbaugh,
I think it's Arbaugh.
Arbaugh. He's the first guy. He's the
Yeah.
guy that
He's
has the
he is
chip
the
in his
dude.
head right
Yeah.
now.
He's thriving as of lately, you know.
Do you think he's picking this up? Do you think like his Neuralink knows and he's like listening to us live?
Anytime anyone mentions Neuralink on the internet, his Neuralink fires and he's like, I need to consume, or he can like sense it, you know?
It's like when your ears ring and they're like, "Oh, somebody's talking about you."
He's like, now it's really gonna happen.
Now
Dude,
it's yeah,
whoa.
yeah, for real.
Yo.
So, do we know what his because his original issue was he got in an accident and he's
Yep.
paralyzed, correct?
Yep.
Was there anything else with that? Because I know he mentioned he has like spasms and stuff.
I'm not totally sure. All I really found was that he was in a an accident and he broke these two bones in his neck that caused him to be paralyzed from the neck down. So he can't control anything and he can't feel anything from the neck down.
So that's probably where the spasms come from, I guess. Right,
I would
just like the muscles,
yeah, like the disconnect between your brain and your body could probably cause some.
right?
I mean, I'm not like a doctor, but if like you can't
No,
control your
no, we're
body or
not
whatever, like
doctors.
I don't know if that's like bad or whatever. I've never tried it.
It's definitely not normal.
I would assume that maybe there's some kind of issue going on.
But
You know,
so this chip is going to allow him to be able to hopefully feel again, or at least just control stuff without having to have his arms and legs.
yeah. So right now he can control computers a little bit. Like here, we can just go through this. We have in our notes, we have this section about the first human trials. So we can just like go through this and it'll kind of touch on some of those things.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get to that stuff. Let's just go through this bullet point.
Nolan Artbow, like we said, he was paralyzed and now he is the first Neuralink human test. And it's amazing to see. I'm not gonna lie. No cognitive problems, at least right now. And he claims that it's super intuitive. Like it's like he said it was like the most intuitive thing he's ever done. It's supernatural. He just thinks and it just happens.
Yeah, he himself said it was most incredible thing, and it's just like unbelievable because
Mhm.
it really is. He was playing fucking Mario Kart, dude.
Dude, yeah. Isn't that insane? Like
Eventually, they're gonna be able to do that with Teslas, bro.
Mario Kart with Teslas. Bro, this whole topic makes my brain spiral into so many different like theories and what ifs,
I know.
which we'll cover later, but like it's so incomprehensible in a way. You have to charge it, which I thought was crazy, which I guess never thought of. It's like it's not gonna be powered by our brain, which like duh. It is said that it charges and it works just like a smartwatch or a smartphone. So I'm guessing there's some kind of like small lithium battery in it.
So what do you just fucking stick a MagSafe charger to your head?
Pretty much like you know how like the the Apple Watch chargers look?
Yeah, it's like a little
The
MagSafe.
the charger looks exactly like that. And you just magnet it to your head while you're sleeping.
Incredible.
Isn't that like you get to like plug yourself in at night? Isn't that weird? It's
He's
kind of
gotta
dystopian.
like back up to a wall and just you plug yourself in and immediately fall asleep.
Dude, yo, actually,
Just like turn off.
it's like, all right, guys, I'm powering down for the night. Just
It's
I don't,
weird. I never thought we'd get to this point in our lifetime.
I didn't think so either because it's so like Star Trek, you know, futuristic. And I never thought as a kid like we would get this far. But it has an all day battery life and it's about 8 hours. And then you can't use it while you're charging because a case of like heating problems, which
Nice.
doesn't seem good at all.
No, I mean your brain's gonna turn into a hard-boiled egg if
You're just
if you're
sitting there
trying
like
to play Mario Kart with telekinesis and charge at the same time. It's not gonna work.
I feel like that could cause so many like explosive head syndrome moments. Like you're just sitting
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
just gonna load up some good old Minecraft with my telekinesis and it'll charge, it's gonna be fine. And then your head just
bro.
explodes.
What if JFK had the Neuralink and his head really did just do that?
Oh, we solved it. We solved it.
It's not a gun.
It's not a gun. It's not a magic bullet.
He had an explosive chip in his head, and he was probably he was trying to
He was
play
just,
Flappy Bird.
yeah. He wasn't paying attention at all. It was just like a mask over his eyes, so he could play games while he was just waving.
He's wearing a skin mask.
So we solved it.
So when it comes to the installation of this thing,
Mm,
they were saying it was, obviously risky because you're doing brain surgery, which any brain surgery is going to be risky.
mm,
But the risks of this were also like after the fact. And I think there are still risk factors that they don't know if they're going
mm,
to show up or not, which is kind of scary because you're just walking
mm.
around with electronics in your head and you don't know if it's going to malfunction and kill you immediately.
Yeah, like just like have like how like computers get viruses or computers like shut down. Like how your
Exactly.
audition
Exactly.
like crash for no reason. Like what happens if this device is just like, today we're not
Yeah.
doing it, and then just fries your brain.
I was gonna ask that. What happens if it does malfunction and it just like shuts off? Like, does that affect him, or does it just affect his telekinesis power?
I like to think that it just affects his telekinesis power.
Because if people are gonna start using this shit to walk and then it just shuts off, is this gonna turn into a pile of jelly?
Could you imagine you just walk around, your Neuralink turns off, you just crumble in the street,
You
like,
just
yeah, I
watch
can't
somebody afraid, you
move.
just like fold in half. It's fucked up.
Well, with what you said about how there's like post-operation risks, the whole study is going to take 6 years to complete.
Damn, just on him?
Just on him, just to watch. Like they're going to do more surgeries and more implants, as we'll kind of see like later on.
Oh, okay, so they are gonna continue in the
But to
meantime.
to see kind of like the long-term effects, quote unquote, the whole study will take 6 years, and then I can't remember if it's every month. They have to like he's got to check in with them to like see how he's doing and see how the Neuralink is operating. So they are keeping him like under surveillance in case, his head explodes or
Oh
something.
yeah, I mean, on the interview that I watched, his mentor, or I guess just watcher for the moment, he said he was with him for like 8 hours a day, every day,
Yeah, just hanging out with
just sitting there,
Cyborg Boy.
just being like, "Hey man, how you feeling?" And then just like testing him, checking how everything's going. But still, that's commitment, man. For 6 years, that's insane.
Homeboy at the end is gonna be able to like lift things with his mind, just like fucking launch
He's gonna
his
kill his
caretaker.
caretaker.
Yeah, he's gonna control his wheelchair with his brain to start running people over. That'd be actually kind of a crazy concept if you could control your wheelchair with your mind.
We're writing a script.
Dude,
Let's do it.
hell yeah, I'm
New
down.
movie.
New movie, Wheelchair Boy.
Wheelchair
Me,
boy.
me and my wheelchair are one being. They claim that the computer movements of like cursor movement and playing games is like we had mentioned, there are other implants that can kind of do that. They're just clunky and really big.
Right.
But they say that that is 1% of the potential usage for this Neuralink implant. And I think that kind of
Yeah,
leads into
dude.
this next section here.
Let's get into it. Because if it's 1% of what he can do and he's already doing telekinesis,
Hmm.
I don't want to know what 100% of this thing looks like.
I think that's God.
It is
I, th
God.
I think
And
that's just a singularity and the universe is going to collapse in and of
it
itself.
literally on stage, Nolan was literally already joking and calling us lessers.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
thought that
he
was
knows something.
hilarious. It's like, yeah, I'm actually so beyond you guys' thought that I have to dumb down for this.
His eyes roll back into his fucking head. He starts levitating with his chair. Starts talking in fucking tongues.
He just compresses into a giant black hole and the entire world gets sucked into Nolan.
The fabric as we know it is just gone.
I am Nolan, the world consumer.
All hail
I
Nolan.
am. All hail the mighty Nolan.
So what they're going to try to get into
Mm.
eventually, do you know if it's like the next stage, I guess, for this? Is the next stage preventing blindness and hearing loss and all that kind of stuff? Like, is that what they're shooting for in the next step? Do you know?
Yeah, so that's kind of like what they're working towards. They had said that so everybody is gonna get some kind of neurological damage as you get old. Like that's just
Right.
your brain deteriorates, your nerves deteriorate, and that's just how it is. And they're working towards preventing that or even eliminating those issues. So because everything that we experience is just electrical impulses, and you stimulate the right neurons in your brain Like pain, for example, is just neurons firing a certain way. But if you can prevent those things, certain things won't hurt anymore.
I always, whenever I stub my toe, I always tell myself, it's not real. It's just
It's
neurons.
it's just electricity. It's not real.
Stop feeling it.
You'll be able to do that.
So I'm just going to be walking around with a busted ass foot, being like, yeah, it's fine.
You get shot, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
That's the problem that I think. Like, I think people will, like, you could abuse that, whether it
Hmm.
manifests into like a eating disorder or just people avoiding like hardcore medical issues because they can just like turn it off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's scary. You got to be really smart, I think, unless like it just won't let you do that kind of stuff. I don't know.
I would assume, yeah, that's a good point because like pain, I'm not saying pain is like a good thing, but
It is, I mean,
it
that's what
is.
makes you human.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, this hurts. I should probably go to the doctor.
That's how you learn as a child when, you stick your
You
hand
touch
on
the
the
stove.
stove or the
Yeah.
fucking candle. You're like, ow, hot, don't touch it.
Dude, side note, when I was a kid, we had this little this beat up truck that had a cigarette lighter in it. And my dad and I were driving around and I was like, like, you know how you push those in, those old cigarette lighters and they heat
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
And I took it out and it wasn't like bright red, so I didn't think it was hot, and I burnt the fucking
Mm,
shit out of my thumb, dude.
nice.
I
That,
just
yeah, he's got a nice little curly scar on your thumb.
yeah, it was pretty nice. Big
That's
old donut
beautiful.
ring. See, but if I had Neuralink, I could just grip onto hot, steaming metal and just be like, yep,
And then
my
you just
s-
boil your skin and let it get infected, but you don't feel it.
yes.
So it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Out of sight, out of mind. Out of mind, out
Out of
of
it's
reality.
out of reality. If you can't perceive it, it's not real, you know?
Exactly. So when you say that they're
Hmm.
trying to cut back on aging, does that literally mean that we're trying to start being immortal? Can this physically make us not deteriorate?
Well, I don't know if it could go that far in the sense of like our physical being per se. Like our skin is still gonna sag and well,
Or are we
I
still
guess
gonna rip like fucking paper mache when we turned 80?
I think so. I think it won't be I don't think it'll be able to stop like your kidneys from getting infected. You know what I mean? Like outside things from affecting you, but like your body's like internal response to
Cancers,
external things. So I guess what in what and that excludes like mental illnesses and stuff like that, I guess, because sometimes mental illnesses aren't caused by external things, but like say you're old and you have joint pain, it's like, well, we can just turn that off so you don't feel the joint pain anymore. I almost kind of view aging on a physical level kind of like an external force that just works on everybody, but the human response to it could change, I guess.
everyone ages different,
Yeah. Here's a thought. Like when you get old, right? It's harder for your body to like heal properly.
right?
So if you like fall down the stairs, you're pretty much gonna die
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like
If you get a paper cut, you're gonna fucking die
bleed to
of
death.
dysentery.
Yeah, exactly exactly. So I wonder if as you age and this also becomes more advanced, if you would be able to like, oh, I have this paper cut. I'm 400 years old now. Let's cause my brain to tell the body to produce more white blood cells to heal that faster. Does that make
It's
sense?
yeah, yeah, no, totally. Because I mean, you have the supplies in your body, but as you get older, your body just forgets how to fucking use it. So if you have a
Exactly.
Neuralink, that's if you're running on a computer that doesn't age like a human ages,
Mhm.
then you're just going to be able to keep rolling, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it could potentially lead to extending human life in a way
But will our
because,
skin still deteriorate? Is this where zombies come from? Or is this the start
well,
of the zombie apocalypse?
cyborg zombies.
Cyborg zombies. What a fucking twist. Never in my life did we see it coming.
That would be
Cool.
kind of intense. Well,
You
think
just
about it like
gotta
this though.
you gotta
If you
aim
had
for the
like
chips.
you gotta aim to the side of the brain where the
You gotta hit a really impossible spot.
you gotta use the magic bullet that killed JFK in order to get these
There you go.
zombie cyborgs. I mean, it could in the sense of like prosthetics and artificial body parts, maybe extend our lives. And then also it says that it can monitor your health and warn you about heart attacks and strokes. So I guess in that sense, yeah, it would to a degree improve life
Yeah, definitely.
expectancy.
It's gonna prevent a lot of shit. Because if you get a notification on your fucking phone and it's like, hey, yo, you're gonna have a heart attack in like an hour, you're like, okay, I guess I'll just go to the doctor now and get that sorted out.
It's like, damn, okay, I guess I'm about to have a fucking aneurysm. But
I,
like
I
what?
I text you, hey, yo, I'm gonna have a heart attack. We're gonna have to push recording back another 20 minutes.
Like I gotta get this aneurysm fixed. Give me like 45. All right. Neuralink is
Yeah.
telling me I need to do it right now.
Yeah, because literally this next line, speaking of surgery, you have in here surgery can be done without general anesthetic.
Well, I'm talking about like the installation surgery. But if you think about it, yeah, like I guess you could have surgery.
Oh, that's about the installation.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But if you think about it though, like surgery could get done hypothetically without general anesthesia because you just turn the pain receptors off.
Oh God, could you imagine laying there with
What
your
they,
fucking eyes
oh,
open, but you don't feel it? And like they're just like tugging at your eyeballs and replacing one of them with like a cyborg eye because you're an asshole and stabbed it on accident with a straw.
your your robot arm malfunction stabbed you in the face. Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta go get
right.
your robot eye replaced.
You're just trying to have like a beer and you just slam it in your fucking head and it shatters and ruins your face.
Sorry, my Neuralink just freaked out and I had a seizure. Can we just go to the hospital real quick so I can get this cleaned up?
It
Like a
doesn't hurt because
massive.
I turned it off, but it's bad. How bad does
I
it look?
I can feel the blood, but like I can't feel the pain right now.
I feel wet.
All I'm hearing is an emergency alarm going off, and I'm that's telling me that something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
In his head, there's like beep, beep, beep.
Like, okay, something's off. Tell me what it is. You got this massive chunk of glass sticking out of your eye. Someone tell me
You,
what's going on. I can't feel it, but I know something's wrong. I can hear it.
does somebody have a mirror?
Does someone have a mirror? I can't really get the full picture here. That would be hilarious. That would be such a funny bit, like a little short skit or something.
It would be. This is what I'm saying. We got to write movies about this shit, dog,
No,
before it
seriously.
starts being mainstream.
We'll be cool before it was cool to be cool, you know?
Hmm.
Okay, so these next points freak me out.
I'm ready.
So you can take them out pretty seamlessly.
What?
Yeah, they did it on a pig. You can take it out and put it in for
What?
like upgrades, or if you just don't want it anymore.
You have to cut it out?
Pretty much. Well,
Oh,
no,
isn't it just like under like that top layer of skin?
yeah. So it sits just it. So how the surgery would work is they're going to cut into your skull. The whole device is about 8 millimeters thick, and your skull is about 10 millimeters thick. And then they plug in basically 1,024 electrodes into your brain on like a super
Damn.
micro scale, so it doesn't bleed anywhere. Because what the surgery robot does is it scans your brain and finds out where it can put the electrodes without stabbing the veins so you don't bleed.
Wow.
That's what causes the surgery to be so fast. Or
No shit.
one of
Yeah,
the aspects, yeah.
because they straight up made a robot for this specific.
Specific surgery, yeah.
Yeah.
You can take them out if you want to upgrade them or if you just don't want them anymore. And I was talking to my girlfriend last night about this point, and she brought up a really interesting idea is that say you have one and then you're like, maybe I shouldn't have this anymore, and you get it removed. It'd be like removing like your like a sense, basically. Like you couldn't because it's so intuitive, it's like a sixth sense. And then
Yeah,
if you remove
exactly.
that, how disconnected you would kind of feel.
Yeah, so if it's kind of like those people you hear
Hmm.
that like want to have something wrong with them. Like there was that one woman who like bleached her eyeballs because she wanted to be blind.
Bruh.
It's like, why would you do that? And if you had the Neuralink and you're like used to it and using it for all this shit, and then you just took it out, I feel like you'd be like, damn, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah, like
It's
I
just a
almost feel like that would
downgrade.
cause more mental issues, like mental illnesses almost.
You
I
just
feel like
get
that'd be
FOMO.
you're like, damn, man, my boys were hanging out with Neuralink and they were spreading jokes, but I can't.
God damn
They're
it, they're
not.
all talking in their heads. You just start having like a schizophrenic break.
They're all talking.
Get out of my head.
Here's a thought. Here's a thought too. It's like, okay, say you use your Neuralink to talk to people, like telepathy, or using certain wavelengths, wrinkles in your brain, basically the pathways, and then you don't have that stimulation anymore. What kind of like withdrawals would you have?
Oh, awful. I guarantee it'd be awful. And everything that you were avoiding with the Neuralink, like
Just
whether it's
come
mental illness,
flooding back.
addiction, anything, it would just all like just hit you like a fucking truck. Like everything would just come right back and you'd probably have a break, honestly.
I feel like you would need some like real psychological, like you. I feel like like all of the watching and testing they're doing on this guy, you'd also have to do a testing and like monitoring of somebody who doesn't have it anymore.
Yes, absolutely. Because you don't know whether or not they're going to build a fucking killdozer, you know?
No, exactly, exactly. Like I feel like it could cause more problems than it took away. Imagine there's like fucking payment plans on this thing, dude. It's like, oh, you missed your payment plan. We're gonna turn on all your pain receptors right now.
They just start psychologically
Just abusing
and
people.
physically, I guess, abusing people. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of physically doing things to people, they on this pig that had the Neuralink was predicting its movements with almost 100% accuracy before it did it.
Hell no. So it knew what they were, it was like mapping it out for them. But did it
Mhm.
predict it because it was going to make it move that way?
So it was a pretty simple, like it's nothing to like super worry about at the moment, I think, because the test they're running is the pig was on a treadmill, right? And the Neuralink was predicting how the joints and how the body parts were moving, how the limbs were moving.
Okay.
And then so that's pretty rhythmic. So it could predict pretty simple patterns in the way the pig was moving.
Right.
But I think the reason why this specific point kind of freaks me out is because imagine how much like 10, 15 years down the line, how much more advanced like prediction could be
Oh,
so that like maybe even the Neuralink could know how you would respond physically to things before your body does. Does that make sense?
yeah. It would also, I feel like, discourage people from trying new things. Or
Hmm.
what if it knew your death date?
Mm. What could it prevent it though? Like say like, okay, yeah, you have like 16 months to live. Could it then be like, okay, these are the things that we could do to make that longer?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's get
How,
Elon in the Zoom call.
yeah, it's like let me hit up Elon real quick and we'll circle back.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. And a last little point in this section, you could have multiple Neuralinks at one time.
Whoa. Why? For what?
I don't
Wait,
know. I don't know why you would do that, but you can do that.
interesting. Are they making Neuralinks that do different things?
I don't know. I didn't really look too far into that. I would assume that maybe if you wanted to like certain neural links maybe stimulate different parts of the brain. I don't know.
Like you can program it specifically to do this?
Hmm.
But yeah, I wonder what the reason is for multiple Neuralinks. That's very interesting.
You're extra paralyzed.
Yeah, if you're completely spineless, then we can pump you with a few of these bad boys and we'll get you on your feet in no time.
Yeah, it's like no problem, dude. Don't even fret. You come in with like fucking your spine and ribs are just shattered into a million pieces. You're freaking out, and the robot surgeon's like, "Hey, man, give me like 25 minutes. Your brain's gonna be 90% silicon and metal, and we'll be chilling." All right.
Hey man, go take a 10. We'll have this done in a minute.
It's like,
All right, so we don't know like the exact word we left off on because Zoom's fucking stupid, but we're just going to continue in the way that this show is supposed to continue, and it might not make complete sense, but
fuck them. If we had Neuralink, we could just record this directly into our brains and then send it out to the masses and brainwash everyone.
this airdrop unwanted audio to everybody.
These last two kind of like bullet points in this like actual factoid, real information section, just kind of like little things I thought were kind of interesting. It connects to your phone, dog.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. Like, I mean, it's Bluetooth.
I thought that was kind of whack because it's like I get that it's Bluetooth, but I feel like your phone is so vulnerable sometimes that if you're connecting that shit directly to your nervous system, I'd be afraid that like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
guess when you put it that way, it is a
you know,
little, yeah, it's a little scary.
like I know we're on our phones like literally constantly as a society, but like I don't know if I want my phone directly implanted into my skull.
I'm already like scared enough having my fucking social security number on my phone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean so many people like think, dude, there's a reason TikTok is being banned. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So like imagine if that was just like directly connected to your fucking brain.
That'd be, yeah. That is
Like
weird. That
like
is
you
weird.
like okay, dog. Hear me out.
I'm hearing.
You know how like social media collects all this information about us and like sells it to the highest bidder?
Yeah.
Neuralink could do the same thing, just infinitely more efficiently.
Oh man, the targeted ads
Dog. You just sit
due to
you
your
just
thoughts.
oh my God, you're sitting there and you get like a one of those fucking pop-up ads.
You just can't
At
see
Target,
anything
you get
besides the
fucking,
ad.
you're just like,
I can't see.
oh,
You're just
I can see
driving.
his
You just
Target.
the pile up on the freeway because you're just going to ad blocking your vision.
Everyone gets like the same ad immediately. Or like
That,
you could pay like a premium subscription so you don't get ads. It's like $400 a month.
have they actually mentioned any subscription fees or anything?
I don't think so.
Because that would be a very dystopian thing to do, I
That would be
think.
really fucked up.
It'd be really fucked up.
Oh, you want to use your limbs? $400 a
That's going to be
leg.
$400 a year for each limb
Oh God, dude.
or $50 a month. You decide.
Or $50. So yeah, if you want to walk, use your eyes, or fucking breathe, you got to pay us your firstborn kid and your entire net worth every day
I
for the
need your
next
entire
forever.
family lineage.
I'm gonna make you live forever, but you have to pay me every day that you exist. If you want to take these next 2 points, you can. These are from an article from em360tech.com by some lady named Katie Baker. No idea who these people are, but I thought I'd have to quote that in case we got in trouble.
Yeah, so when it comes to like the price of this thing,
Hmm.
it's a lot. It's about $10,500, but
Yeah.
also I feel like it's not that much when it comes to what it can help.
Yeah, I feel like people spend, I mean, that dude's wheelchair probably costs more than that. You know what I mean?
I guess according to a Bloomberg report, insurer costs are expected to jump that price up to $50,000 just because they can.
Welcome to the new elite force of the world,
Yeah,
everybody.
how nobody can afford 50 grand.
Dude, most people can't even afford to get weekly groceries.
Exactly.
Who the fuck is gonna spend 50 G's on a Neuralink implant?
Definitely not the lower or middle class. It's only going to be upper class people.
Dude, the class system is gonna be fucked.
We're falling apart.
This was a good run. This was a good run. You know, whether God comes back or we kill ourselves or like there's an asteroid that kills us, it's getting
And
close.
it looks like we got some more people that are coming up with more Neuralinks because in 2024, they're already planning on 11 more surgeries and 27 more surgeries in 2025. And in 2026, they already have 79 people. And in 2027, they already have 499. So these are all people that applied and got
Hmm.
in to getting these Neuralinks. They all got accepted. But do they have to pay for it because it's testing or is it not testing at that point?
Um, I don't know. I guess it just depends. Like, I'm assuming it's still testing because,
6 years.
2027, yeah, it's only 3 years from now. So, I mean, who knows what kind of fucking crazy shit they're gonna have in 3 years with this kind of technology and like merging it with like AI and stuff. But I would imagine it's still somewhat testing. Like, I don't think it'll be like commercially available for everyone.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, definitely not for a while. But I mean, say 499 people when it does become like a recreational thing that literally anybody can get.
Yeah.
Say there's the 499 surgeries in 2027. Say those are
Hmm.
people that are actually paying the $50,000 to get
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
That's $24 million, almost
Holy
25.
crap, dude.
That is so much money. And how much does this fucking watch battery take to make? $20?
20 bucks probably. Probably, dude. That shit's mine for free in like some third world country by like a 10-year-old orphan.
Exactly. And he's out there breathing in the sulfur and whatnot,
His life
dying.
expectancy is going to be like 40, but that's like him
40
with,
days
yeah, 40 days.
because he's probably going to die in his steam vent.
Oh, he's gonna, oh, to be crushed by a collapsing cobalt mine.
Exactly.
God
Exactly.
damn. He'll need a Neuralink, but he won't. He doesn't even know what a Neuralink is at this point.
No, absolutely not. He's never heard about this. And we're never going to be able to experience it because when it comes to a thing that we're just going to be able to roll up and buy at Target, we're not going to be able to afford it.
It's actually, dude. So speaking of like just rolling up to Target and buying it, so the surgery, right, can be done like we were saying, like can be, done with like no anesthesia, less than an hour, and go home the same day. The robot that does it, right now you need it needs to have a person involved, but they were trying to get the robot to be totally autonomous, so you can just pull up to like a station
Dude,
and get it installed and go home.
could you imagine just rolling up to a big empty room that's just like a bunch of glass cubicles and there's just
Yeah.
like machines moving and there's just like people in the chairs just out. getting brain surgery at by
Just
like the hundreds.
just pumping them out.
That's so scary. But that's dystopian.
I think this leads right into like our what ifs and hot takes and
Yeah,
theories section.
this is the moment to jump right into all of the
The
craziness.
craziness. So everything we're going to talk about from this point forward are just like off the wall theories and like what ifs. And we have no idea if any of this is merit, and it might sound like we're hating, but this is just like all speculatory
Yeah, no,
stuff.
to be fair, I'm not completely against this or completely for it. I'm middle ground. I think if it can help
Hmm.
you and you need it, awesome. Do I think everybody should have one and be elite? No, but I think it's going to do great things for disabled people.
I agree 100%.
But let's get into these what ifs.
Yeah. So, all these what ifs I feel like are just going straight into the shitter. I'm not gonna lie. Like I can
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
like I think these could be some like amazing medical feats, can just amazing, but every single one of these points I I can immediately think of like, oh wow, this is gonna just destroy
We're just deep frying
everything.
everything.
Yeah, like if you guys want like still have like a positive outlook on anything, stop listening.
Just stop now because the first one is sad and real.
Yeah.
How will this affect the job market and income? Probably severely.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, so many jobs are going to be taken away from this, you know,
All of the manual jobs will be
pretty
gone.
much. I think like teaching, like once you can just, this is all under the idea that Neuralink is so advanced that it's can control so much of your brain,
Yeah, this is like 2030, 2035.
which really isn't that far away. That's
Not
10
that
years.
far. Not that far. It's our
Because with
lifetime.
like with machine learning and stuff, this will exponentially evolve.
Yeah, I mean, even with the machine that they're using to make the implants,
Hmm.
eventually they're just going to have machines kind of like an Amazon warehouse that just do 90% of the heavy lifting, you know?
I I got my Neuralink on Wish on Temu for $45. I installed it myself. Look.
Oh God, it's just like needles just it's like, yeah, I just
Oh,
had to have my girlfriend tap these needles through my skull and it just connected.
it just I feel great. I get severe headaches and temporary blindness every once in
Half
a
of my
while.
face is paralyzed, but
I can't move my legs or my arms, but I can control my computer with my brain.
God,
Sometimes.
yeah, it just like randomly disconnects. Mouse disconnected. Fuck.
God damn it.
Just got to hit it a few times and it reconnects.
You just blunt force trauma yourself trying to get your Neuralink to connect to your brain.
The hair around it's all like coming out and like just falling because it's
Matted
just
and just bloody.
infected and
You get like
nasty.
massive bulbous pus-filled sores. Like, yeah, my Neuralink's doing
Mm.
great, guys. I can't feel anything anymore, but
Coagulated blood just
oh,
crusting all around it.
your eyeballs being pushed out because your brain is swelling.
Your brain's just fucking expanding in your skull. So, speaking of being able to control things, I guess it is
Hmm.
a sixth sense.
Pretty much. Like
That's what
it's
it is.
you're just thinking about it.
Is it a sixth sense though, or will it become a sixth through 500th sense
Yeah.
because you're going to be able to do whatever the fuck you want?
You're gonna be connected to so much shit that it'll any sense that you want. Like it'll just be the sense to have. It controls everything.
Is there like a dial for God mode?
So yeah, I'm gonna turn on God mode and be invincible for 15 seconds. Then my battery's gonna die, and then I'll be crippled for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's just like God mode makes the battery drain too fast.
So you're like in full sprint, like pushing your body to absolute fucking limits, and then just immediately shut down, just die, just like face plant into the concrete. Back to like what we were talking about, like the job market and stuff. I think that like it could get really dystopian. Like if companies are like, okay, you get a complimentary Neuralink when you sign up and work for this company, or you need to have a Neuralink to get hired here, or you need to download our specific format of Neuralink so that you can work here.
Right.
You
Yeah. I
know?
mean, you're gonna have to like download like packs,
And then
PNGs.
PNGs of you go into like your hard drive in your brain and you got like fucking Little Caesars advertisements just like floating around in the background. Like, oh, I gotta delete that.
It's like, why do I still have this downloaded?
Um, because I think this is way down the line, but remember we had discussed this a while ago, but how many thoughts are gonna be yours or just gonna be like a business's influence on how you're operating?
Exactly. Like they're going to be able to download certain softwares into your
Hmm.
hardware to
Yeah,
make you perform a certain way at the job site.
exactly, exactly. That could lead to a lot of existential schizophrenic problems. Like, what choices and what actions are really yours, and which are your Neuralink kind of influencing those things? That sounds like super dystopian, but like if it's already, potentially going to get rid of pain and help with blindness and stuff, why can't it influence the way that you act?
Yeah, so even when it like comes to what thoughts are mine and what thoughts are not,
Hmm.
it's and being schizophrenic, I feel like that will lead to other mental disorders like
Hmm.
schizophrenia because it's going to literally be like the whole get out of my head situation.
I mean, I already feel that way sometimes, and I'm not even schizophrenic.
Are you sure? Did you get that checked?
No,
Oh, well,
but could like, dude, I feel like Neuralink could lead to so many people just having like existential crises,
I did, yeah,
which,
because if you know too much,
yeah,
that's going to do you
ignorance
no good.
is kind of important.
Ignorance is bliss in many situations, and
Mhm.
I don't know if we're ready for information being not at our fingertips, but literally just at a thought.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I wonder what this means. And then, have you seen Dune, by the way?
No, I haven't. I don't know if I can do it, man.
There's this fucking scene where this guy, he's like a computing person. I don't know. And he's like asked a math question and his eyes roll back into his head and he does the calculation. It comes out. It's like, hey man, can you Google this for me? He's like, yeah. Yeah, eyes roll back and he's like, oh, here's the answer. We just telepathy this to you. I'd be
um,
airdropping so much random shit to people.
I would just be shit posting.
Just deep fried audio clips constantly to pilots. And some of the research that I had done, they had talked about maybe potentially like taking VR and AR, like augmented realities, and instead of having a headset, just doing directly into your brain.
And that's another thing. Where do the like lines get blurred?
Exactly. Like what if, okay, this is going to get into some really out there thoughts, but if everything we perceive that makes up our reality is just our brain interpreting things in the world, how do we determine what is real and what is being projected in our brain by technology at that point?
Yeah, especially when, if you opt to get one of these, you're, I feel like, going to constantly ask, is this real or is just the implant, especially
Hmm.
as things start rapidly changing
Yeah.
because everything's going to change very fast once people are able just to get this installed. And it's going to lead to a lot of, I forget what they call it. There's like a word for like when you come out of VR and like you kind of feel weird for a while, like
Like,
your first couple times using it. It's almost like you disassociate in a
like,
weird way.
yeah, yeah. I think,
Um, but it would do
uh,
that, I think, like permanently.
I feel like, they're like dissociation and then something else I can't remember, but I think it could lead to a lot of like mass hysteria.
Absolutely.
You know how have I'm assuming you've seen like the ads for the Apple Vision Pro.
I've watched videos and stuff on it. Yeah.
You know how they're gonna have that thing where you can like FaceTime somebody, and when you FaceTime someone with the Apple Vision Pro, it'll take like almost mask out your Apple Vision Pro so it doesn't look like you have it on.
It'll look like they're actually in your home.
Yeah. Imagine that with the Neuralink technology, when you can like if we wanted to do this podcast in person and you just like Bluetoothed or like sent, I don't know, a projection of yourself and vice
Literally
versa
astral project.
into my house, and it feels like it sounds like and I can see you as if you were here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then could you do that with people like love past loved ones.
Exactly, exactly. Like how how far can you take that technology, and then how fucked up is that going to make reality?
Very, it's going to be very because people are just going to get lost in their own little worlds.
Yeah, because you could just program reality to be whatever you wanted it to be at that point. If you can control every sense and every neuron in your brain to curate whatever you want to look at and feel, then like what's the point of doing anything?
I almost wonder if we're thinking about this, if if we think that it has more power than it actually does.
Oh, right
Because,
now, yeah,
well,
100%.
I mean, I just mean in general, like, will it ever get to that point? Like, will there ever be a point where you're questioning reality, or will they not allow you to access it to that extent?
I feel like
Because they're
I
going to
feel like
have to limit it.
yeah, there'll have to be regulations because I don't think it could be used recreationally. But then again, I think about like we're not supposed to do meth, but people do meth.
Yeah, you're just gonna get this thing installed in the back alley at a fucking Little Caesars.
Yeah, like dude, I got that good Neuralink. That shit will change reality.
You know how people get like implants and then like die immediately?
Yeah.
Like BBLs and shit from like Craigslist. I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this.
Here's a used Neuralink.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
still got like hair and shit on it.
see, I ripped this out of some homeless dude yesterday. Here you go. $40. But yeah, I think obviously this is like super speculatory and we have no idea what we're talking about. It's fun to play around with these ideas, but also terrifying, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to let the brain wander, but if you let it wander too much, you're just gonna start scaring yourself and be like people
Hmm.
in 2012 and start jumping off of bridges because you think the world's
Like the
ending.
world's ending. The world's always ending. One thing that I don't necessarily think is too out of realm of possibility per se, depending on what direction this goes, is if we are going to be inadvertently forced to get one of these things.
Yeah, but do you think that would happen in our lifetime though? Because I feel like when cars first came out, not
Hmm.
everybody had one. It was like all like the rich people or the inventor of the car, this or that.
Yeah.
It wasn't for like a minute that everybody had one. But I guess that was
Yeah.
within 100 years though, was it not?
I'll look it up. When were cars invented? 1886. So less than 200 years ago. Operating under the assumption that if you take advanced AI learning and Neuralink, how far can you take that in the next 20, 50 years or whatever?
Right.
I don't know if it'll get to that point in our lifetime, but because of how fast the ball will roll once it gets moving, like think of the computer, for example. When those were first invented, those were the size of fucking rooms. And now
Literally, yeah.
we have them being implanted in people's brains, you know? So
We went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like
exactly.
very fast.
So how fast is this technology going to evolve is kind of like where my brain goes.
It's honestly, we're saying it's probably not gonna be in our lifetime, but it honestly might be a lot sooner than we think.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I wonder if they'll start for like people that have prosthetics and stuff, if Neuralink, like the company itself, will start making
Hmm.
prosthetics that will work directly with your Neuralink, which will
I
further your superhuman abilities.
I think so. I think I mean they'll definitely have like prosthetics that are compatible with your Neuralink, which would be amazing.
Bluetooth compatible.
Which would be incredible for people who like have prosthetic limbs and stuff. That would be
Yeah, that's awesome.
life altering, you know?
But it's not cool for the guy who's trying to take over the world. And he's like, hey, take my arms and legs off and replace them with
Robots.
titanium guns.
Yeah, I need to be a cyborg. And like why? No reason. I'm not gonna like take over the world or anything. Like
You ever seen like a tank? Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking the direction I want to go.
that's what I'm trying to do here, right? I'm trying to like merge with that. Can we do that? Is that what this is all about? I want to be able to shoot missiles out of my mouth.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, if you had to be a machine, what machine would you want to merge with?
Mm.
I'm thinking kind of like a, I don't know.
Thinking like a conveyor belt at like a grocery store because then I
I
could
was
like
thinking,
steal
yeah.
snacks, you know?
Mm, okay, yeah, yeah. I
I can
like
just
that.
like kind of do a day in the life, you know?
Day in the life of a
Day in the
conveyor
life
belt at a fucking Ralph's or
at
whatever the fuck they're
Ralph's. Yeah, and I'll just
called.
like steal all like the sandwiches and shit.
I like that. I like
That's what I'm
that.
going with.
Yeah. I think I would probably pick like a vacuum cleaner,
Mm.
you know, and then just make sure that I don't actually suck anything up.
I'm a vacuum cleaner, but I'm kind of a germaphobe.
Kind of a germophobic vacuum cleaner.
Ew, gross.
I think I'd hook up to people's diabetic insulin reminders and just not do it.
I'm just not going to remind you next time you're
Dude,
dying.
next time you need insulin, I'm gonna tell you to not take it.
Actually doing really good. He looks down. You're
You,
just doing a little thumbs up. You got
you
like a
don't
little
have
arm.
diabetes anymore. That's crazy.
You can't turn into machines without having the risk of a virus, though.
That do be facts.
So is that a thing that will happen with these? Also, kind of like a virus. You know how like when you plug shit into the wall and sometimes you shock yourself? Is
Yeah.
that going to immediately travel
Oh,
to that, to the Neuralink and just like
and
fry?
you ever fucking head blows up? Like, oh, let me plug in
Exactly.
my toaster.
Everything we come back to just relates to the head exploding
You have JFK syndrome? Oh, what's that mean? Your head's gonna blow up.
due
Like,
to your
oh,
Neuralink being out of date and your subscription has lapsed.
we're we're gonna have to make you paralyzed again unless you pay us your monthly subscription.
Do you think you could just like make unlimited money if you have this thing? Because you'll pretty much be able to do whatever you want. I mean, you'll still have to do the work for it,
Uh-huh.
but if you can work from home and you have a Neuralink, you could have like 20 jobs and get all of them done in like
Pa-
10 minutes.
Passive income, baby.
The hardest part is going to be if you have normal hands and not bionicle fingers, you're going to have to actually type. But other than, oh, wait, no, you
No,
won't.
you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
You wouldn't. It would just show up because you would think it. Interesting.
Do you think you could put it on like a back burner and just have it run and do
Oh,
work for
like
you?
have it like background refresh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
technically clocked in, but like my Neuralink's doing it.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Could you just turn your Neuralink, could you program it to your works program to be able to
Hmm.
do your shit, but also kind of disconnect from your brain because it doesn't run off of your brain, it runs off of battery.
Yeah, like why couldn't you just
And if you have like a work personality downloaded to it, your work personality will take care of it while your home personality watches Game of Thrones,
just anything else?
literally anything else.
Hmm.
But we're spiraling here and we are running out of time again.
Yes.
So I think we're going to have to end it here, even though we honestly didn't get to a lot of our what ifs.
I know, like that we could do this for hours
We
if we
could,
really wanted
we
to.
really could, but we also don't know a ton. So we'll probably revisit this topic at some point when it starts to get more scary.
Yeah, when it gets more when there's more like information out and we do some more research on it, we'll definitely have to revisit
Absolutely.
this.
But for now, I think we're going to call that good.
Thank you guys for listening. Like if if you guys were here from the beginning, that's dope. But
For real, thanks for coming back. It's been a
yeah,
minute.
share this with literally everyone with your
Yes.
Neuralink. Just download it and spread it to other people's Neuralinks.
Airdrop to everybody, inconvenience everybody.
Turn just connect it to anyone's car,
Tell your
phone,
Uber
everything.
driver.